Gonna make it work. Our unions make it work. The Union View.
Hello, welcome to the Union View. I am your host, Gina Miller, and today we are here with my guest, Keith Johnson. So
True.
That's amazing, and it's really a sad testament to what, the financial conditions and the ruins that this country is facing. And speaking of that, let's talk a little bit about our president-elect Barack Obama.
Yes.
And what he has inherited, actually, by winning this election. We're looking at now the three big automakers who, are looking for a rescue. Correct. I don't even want to say bailout.
Right.
AIG was bailed out.
Correct.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, the president, George Bush, he really had not taken care of our country, and he was really asleep at the switch, as they would say, because if in fact they had did investigation on this prime lender situation, we wouldn't be here today. There's so much oversight in all states and all cities where we have these elected officials where they really have looked at it. But see, the bottom line on the whole thing is the middle class that's being affected. That was one of the reasons Barack Obama has really put forth his campaign, is to take care of the middle class. And basically, the reason why we're in this situation is because they haven't taken care of the middle class. Everything that's being affected, even with the General Motors situation, with the big three, it's about the workers, it's about the unions, and they want us to give. But you don't see none of the top executive giving up any of their perks, any of their golden parachutes.
Right.
So he's inherited a healthcare situation where both of us are in an organization where we're fortunate to have good healthcare plans, good pension plans.
Thank God.
Many folks out here don't have that situation,
right.
And it's getting worse. Then you go into the housing situation, like you said, show that poster here about foreclosure and all that. Then you have a school situation. The schools are not doing well.
Right.
Not well only here in New York City, but across the whole 50 states.
Right.
We need a system. Right now, we're in the 21st century, and we're halfway through the first 10 years of the 21st century. And based upon that, we're going on to '09. Look how quick we've gotten here, and what have we really accomplished?
Wow.
We're trying to go into the next phase. This man, Barack Obama, has inherited. They're talking right now of a recession, but if for you and me, we wasn't born in the 30s, but they are talking about what happened in the 30s under FDR when he came president. There's things of whereas they talk about when Lincoln became president. These are the parallels what they are using based upon our history of this country that's happening now. So it's very important for us to read history and understand where we stand at to this day, because if we don't understand where we were, we're not going to understand where we're going to.
Absolutely.
And that's where we at.
Oh, I agree. And, I wanted to...
At that point, I'll put my hat on.
You want to put your hat on?
Let's put on the hats on.
Okay. We have our Obama for president, and my hat says Obama, change we can believe in.
Right.
And, I am really, how proud I am, and we all are. And I'm really proud that even the vice president that has been chosen and who ran with President-elect Barack Obama is somebody that I believe we can also believe in. That's a powerful team. And Barack and Michelle and their two daughters attended in Chicago. President-elect Barack Obama and his wife, they took their daughters to work at a food bank. So when you look at a family that does stuff like that, I mean, I'm sure you've done things like that with your kids, and you and I, we always have talked about things we do with our kids and taking them to the strike lines and showing them people who are less fortunate than they are, so that they can have a compassion and be able to develop even, maybe a hope you know, that within themselves, that they would begin to work toward making a change and a difference for other people. And that's what we teach them when we bring them to things that we're involved in. And President-elect Barack Obama and his wife took their daughters to work at a food bank on the day before Thanksgiving, saying that they wanted to show the girls the meaning of the holiday, especially when so many people are struggling. And, you know, so we have a few pictures that we're going to be showing where that the girls were involved, and Michelle was involved, and they were giving out food at the food bank. And while all this was going on, there's a school right across the street from where they were giving out the food. And so he's looking, and he sees that the kids in the school actually put up a sign on the window saying something about we love our prayers, you know. And so the Obama family's activities in the courtyard, they quickly drew the attention of the school children, whose windows overlooked the courtyard, and they put up a sign against the glass that read, "We love our prayers," and screamed when the president-elect waved to them. Now, I can tell you, when I was in Virginia, I went to 2 rallies, and one of the rallies, the motorcade, you know, the cars and the motorcycles, I mean, he already looked like he was the president. When they went by, they didn't see him. They just saw the car that they thought he might be in. And the people were just screaming like as if Michael Jackson had just came by. And so I'm sure when he saw these young people screaming when he waved to them, you know, he said, look, we need to go and visit these kids. And the Secret Service agents, they looked around, they were surprised, and they scrambled, and they tried to figure out how can we make this happen, and they made it happen. And he was able to go into the school and touch them, you know, and speak to them, and I'm sure they will never, ever, ever forget that. So we have a president-elect, you know, in Barack Obama, who has compassion and has, you know, a feeling for the heart of the people. And I am so proud and grateful that you were able to do all the work you did in Michigan and in Ohio. I'm grateful that I was able to go to Pennsylvania and also to Virginia. So we just wanted to have this show today just to say thank you and to really thank God for all the hard work, you know, that everyone has done on this campaign. I mean, from soup to nuts, nothing was left unturned. And, you know, I just want you to give us a few, you know, words as we close off, because we're going to have to go, but we will definitely see you again. And I thank you for all your hard work, Keith.
Well, thank you. Well, I would say I thank God at this time that I was able to live for this moment. It's not just because he's the African-American president. It's the fact of the matter is he's a president of all American people and people of color. And that he has inspired a generation. He's inspired my children, your children, and future children to say, listen, I can become president of the United States.
That's right.
And then not only that, I've always believed in the speech of Dr. Martin Luther King, you know, and that just inspired me for all of them who came before me. I was glad I was able to help out Cheney, Loman, all those folks who went down there to do voter registration, and they got killed for it. Wow. I felt like this campaign, I was them.
That's right.
We were them.
We were them.
We were them. And we lived out history.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Well, we want to thank you all for watching The Union View. We thank our guest, Keith Johnson, and we really want you to continue to look out for more shows on The Union View, because this subject has not been even, you know, scratched. The surface haven't really been scratched yet, because we have so many people to interview who have participated in this campaign. Thank you for watching The Union View.
Yeah, as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will we be satisfied? we can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victims of the